forward. Okay, so this course is a statistics course. So usually students who take statistics are not that good in math. So I tried to design the course to be student friendly as possible, and to also, of course, make sure that it's accessible to all students. So this is the home page. So I just did a little blue and white to try to do contrast. I'm a little vision impaired, so I have to have contrast also. And this is just like a welcome, then my video, and then here are just 3 very quick things: the syllabus, the course policies, and getting started. So getting started puts the student at the orientation module, the second page. This is actually the first page of the orientation module. So if we click on syllabus, we can get to the syllabus. I made sure that everything had a header, that all the links were content-based, and there's different links to go on to, like Long Beach's policy for plagiarism. There's late work policy communication, and here is a table of what goes on when. Okay, then if we go back to home, then we also have the course policies, and a lot of things are redundant in the syllabus and the course policies. But basically this gets a little bit different content. Like it'll explain the difference between online, hybrid, and web enhanced. And again, all the headers are noted here for people who need screen readers. This goes into the technology. This just links basically to Long Beach's technology department, where it states what the students need. And then this is the Canvas login, because it's kind of hard to get to Long Beach Canvas login sometimes. So that's repeated on here also. And then again, the plagiarism policy, and then communication. I wanted to outline that, and of course the attendance and drop policy. So if we go back to home again, now we're getting into the second page of the orientation module. So that's my video, and it's closed captioned. And then getting started basically puts us at another video. Now the reason why I did so many videos on how to do Canvas is because a lot of times these students are going to be overwhelmed with the math portion of statistics, and I just don't want to overwhelm them. So I feel like a video is easier to figure out than writing a bunch of text. So again, this video is closed captioned. And then now students can just go to next. So now this is a page that basically tells them how the modules are going to be set up. There's going to be a different home page every module, and so it's just my information again. And then this is like an example, because this is the module that I did, the hypothesis testing module. So I'm just telling students each module contains, and then they'll usually have some kind of a writing prompt, because you do have to write in statistics. Then a discussion every week will be due by whatever. Then a completed math homework set, and then a quiz, and then they'll see this symbol if there's a group project, and then this will be welcome to blank whatever unit. In this unit we will go over the following objectives, and then objectives listed. The reason why I put this down at the bottom is because usually students have anxiety of what's due in the week. So I put the objectives, but I put them at the bottom. So now students Then this is a quick thing on netiquette. And this just will, they can click on this PDF and then they can go over netiquette. Then there's another video on how to comment in a discussion, because we're going to have a discussion every module, because since it's not face-to-face, the students really need to talk to each other. And of course, that's closed captioned also. Then they get into why statistics is important, and this is a discussion that they have to take part in. And then there's another little video of me basically saying, hey, math is important. Even though statistics uses math, it's not technically math. Most students don't know that. So I asked them to introduce themselves and tell about their major and how statistics is used in their major. And if they can't think of how statistics is used in their major, then they can think of how math is used. And they also have to reply to a peer. Now I'm getting into how to take a quiz in Canvas. Again, this is also closed caption, and I'm trying to do things that will be the easiest for the student to understand. So I figured if they got a video instead of just written script, that they would understand a little bit better. And these videos were really, I was surprised at how many high quality captioned videos there were on YouTube. Okay, then we get into course policies. Again, there's some links to different school things and how to contact me, late policy, so forth. And of course, headers were used. This is the same content as before. And then again, this is the syllabus. Headers were used. Same content as before. All right, and then there's a quiz on the course policies and syllabus. So hopefully they read it. There's only 2 questions. It's a really easy quiz, but I need them to know that they have to be an active participant. So basically, their first modules due September 1st. Otherwise, they'll be dropped from the class. And then I need to let them also know that they have to make sure to keep logging on to Canvas, because otherwise they'll be dropped from the class if they don't log in every 7 days. And I did every 7 days because I know some students print things out once a week and kind of work on it. And they might do the discussion and other things that are due that day. So I just want to make sure that that they do everything. And then here's how to submit an assignment in Canvas. And again, this is a video, it's closed caption. And then this is just something to let me know what's going on. So this is just like an ungraded survey. How's it going? Just so they can, and this is in paragraph form. It's not multiple choice, because I don't want to get certain answers. I just want them to write whatever they feel, because something may be working well or something may not be working at all. And then this is what I learned in another @ONE course called the water cooler. And I've actually used this before in a face-to-face class, and it was amazing how students got on here and talked to each other. So I just wrote this little narrative. In the old days, people used to gather around a water cooler and talk to each other. This talking often led to collaboration. So I'm leaving this discussion as a modern day water cooler. In the past, my face-to-face classes used this page to set up study groups and ask each other help on problems. This is not for a grade, and don't expect me to reply. So this is just trying to get them to collaborate with one another, because I don't know why, but people think that math and statistics, people do this by themselves, and they really don't. So I want them to I want them to try to, like, in a face-to-face class, I say, hey, can you guys get each other's numbers? Can you talk to one another? So this is my version of trying to do that. Otherwise, only outgoing students talk to each other. So that's the water cooler. That was the orientation unit. So now this unit is a 3-week unit. I picked the biggest unit to work on because I wanted to really do this unit, because even if I don't ever teach this class online, I'm teaching this next semester. So I want to have some kind of web enhancement going on, and have students know Canvas, because Canvas, I was in a Canvas pilot last semester this spring, and some students know Canvas well, some students don't. So they're going to have to get used to Canvas. So now this is the setup that was introduced in the orientation module. And again, I'm a little vision impaired, so all these little icons they probably look big. But students don't usually complain. So this basically tells them, hey, submit your writing prompt by week 1 on Wednesday. I've been doing the Wednesday, and I adopted the Wednesday and Saturday because I felt like that kind of worked in our class. So I didn't want to put this date, this date, this date, just Wednesday and Saturday you have stuff due. So then their discussion. Now, their discussion this time is going to be a little bit different. They're going to be, I would assign groups. Hopefully, I can assign it kind of based on major and interest, because I do look at the water cooler and get information about the students, even though the students don't really know I'm looking. So sometimes I form groups that way. So the discussion basically is, what data set are we going to look at for our project? And so this is now embedded in their group project, so it's not a whole class discussion. Then this is complete your math homework due by the 2nd week. And then I give another assignment, kind of like a formative assessment, just a purely formative assessment, where they do a homework assignment and they get this, and the solution is right there. So they know whether it's right or wrong immediately. And there's no penalty, no anything. It's just on their own. I don't correct it. It's just for them. Then they're going to take their quiz, and then on the Saturday of week 3, they have to submit the project. So down here are the unit objectives. And so they have to solve problems using fundamental laws of probability, analyze and summarize using descriptive statistics, and apply theories of inferential statistics. Okay, so now we're getting into what they're doing. So they're going to learn to analyze data and be able to reject or not reject the null hypotenuse. They're going to get a lot of examples in this video. This is a video I found on 3C Media. They have some really, really high quality, already captioned videos from some professors that I guess have been doing this for a while. Like, they're really good. And so in this module, there's 3 videos. I stuck the water cooler in here because if students are stuck, right away, I want to kind of see it in the water cooler. And hopefully they can answer each other's questions, or I can know where to go during like the office hours. Then there's another video. So there's the objectives, and then here's the video. Again, this came from 3C Media. It's the same people as before. And of course, it's closed captioned. I mean, it was on 3C Media, so everything is already closed captioned and accessible and everything else. This is a third video from 3C Media, but it's not from the same professors, but it's still a really, really good video. Here's the objectives. This is a pretty high quality video, and it has a lot of problems in it. And then I made this content just a little of when do you use the normal versus the t-distribution. And this links to some data sets that are larger than 30 that they could actually use for their project if they chose to. And then here's the calculator instructions on how to calculate. Okay, so now this gets to a writing prompt. I know it's weird to have writing prompts, but in mathematics, you do write, it's just very concise. So since these are students that are not even strong in mathematics, just a regular writing prompt I figured would help. And so I just want them to write, hey, when do you use a T versus a Z? And they can always go back and look and see. Now I made this 50 points, and I know this seems like a lot, but I really want them to take it seriously. Otherwise, I might get to 2 sentences. Then this is a graded quiz. This is a formative quiz. They can take it up to 5 times. Actually, when I first submitted this quiz, it was wrong. I didn't click the appropriate button in the assignment. So now I know, hey, you have to put they can see the answers. Otherwise, it won't work. So now here's some questions with solutions. So these solutions, they I'm going to actually click on this because this is purely formative. So basically, it's giving them some questions, and then it gives them, okay, all right. And then it gives them some, it gives basically, it reinforces what's in the videos, and it gives them more writing, a more description, like a textbook, and then it actually works out some problems. And I really like this because it says make a decision. So this teaches the students, hey, this is exactly what you need to know, because when you do your group project, you have to make a decision. So they can just basically use the same format and make a decision based on their information. So now this symbol, this is like, hey, stop, because you need to actually submit something. So I put the assignment here, and then I have where they can submit the assignment here. And they can upload whatever they want to submit the assignment. And then here's the group project. So I'm just telling them that, hey, we just don't do statistics. There's meanings behind the statistics. And so I'm asking them to keep in mind the objectives for the module. And then I go into what they're going to do. So basically, they're going to find some data sets of more than 30 entries, and they're going to figure out why they picked this data set. And each person is going to write a paragraph or two of why the group picked this data set. And that's why I want to kind of see what their majors are, what their interests are. So I'll be monitoring the water cooler, because that gives me a lot of information of what people's interests are. They're going to use Google Docs to collaborate. And if they don't know Google Docs, they're about to learn it in these videos down here. In section 2, they're going to analyze the data using 2 different levels of significance. And then in section 3, they're going to state why they chose to reject or not to reject the null hypothesis. And so this video, both videos are closed captioned. This one is basically, hey, how do you learn the basics of Google Docs? This is from Flipped Classroom Tutorials. They have a whole channel on just stuff on how to flip a classroom. And then this other source actually came from Google and is sharing in Google Docs, so that if they don't know Google Docs, they'll learn it from these 2 videos, which is why there had to be 2 videos instead of 1. And of course, the videos are closed captioned. And of course, I use headers and list on this page for accessibility. Okay, and then I borrowed from my classmate who was so helpful and who emails back and who let me see her Zoom conference and everything else. So this is basically how they'll be graded on their presentation. And I really like this because everyone gets a minimum score, so that if they're a really struggling student, they can at least get a minimum score. And I know that sometimes in groups people don't do things, but usually I don't know why in like statistics courses and another course that I taught, which was called Math for Liberal Arts Students. Those are students who are kind of have math phobias. In the group process, they're pretty good. Even if they don't know the math, they might write, they might even draw, they might do other things. So that's why I adopted her. I'm actually going to adopt this for the fall too. Her way of looking at group work, so that students get a minimum score no matter what happens. And then this is the rubric is also stated down there. All right, and then this is, you know, after your group is done with your discussion in Google Docs, come to you have to come to an agreement, and then invite me to your Google Doc site. And then this is send me a link to your rough drafts and to your final project, so I can see what actually happened, so that they can then be graded. So, and then I put this in here because I'll probably have to do some kind of department test, but I would like them to do a discussion and a project, and then the test. Usually after you do all that, usually the students do pretty well on the test, or at least that's what has happened before. So I'm hoping that would happen again next semester when I actually do teach statistics again. Oh, and then lastly, the last part of the module is how is it going, and I just want to see, you know, what's going on. just to see what's, what worked, what didn't. Because now that if it's this not a face-to-face class, the students won't be able to come up to me after class and say, well, hey, this is working well, this is not. So this is just for me, and it's not graded. It's just, I hope that they fill it out. So now, okay. So now I'm going to go to standard 3. And so basically, in standard 3, as part of the course, there'll be discussions, there'll be collaborative assignments, and students will give peer feedbacks in the weekly discussions. Now, in that last module, though, the discussion is kind of within a group. It's not a whole class discussion. And so my variety of tools is going to be Google Docs and also just Canvas. And there's collaborative activities. And so basically, in this reflection, so I talk about, in this course, every module, students will take part of a discussion where they must reply to another classmate after posting their part of the discussion. I feel that people think mathematics and statistics are subjects that one studies alone. I completely disagree, and I tell students in face-to-face classes to introduce themselves and get each other's numbers to study with one another. Of course, a person has to read and take notes by themselves and work a few problems, but dialogue when working problems is key. In fact, in other countries that do well in mathematics, science, statistics, etc., students organize study groups in middle school and work together from that point on and get a greater understanding than one can get alone. In my academic career, I had to learn to become more vocal and talk to classmates because there is no way that an individual can compete with a group. In statistics, at some point, not only do students have to discern which distribution to use, evaluate mathematics given certain metrics, but judge whether or not to accept or not accept the null hypothesis. This is a complicated process that goes up to the lowest to the highest levels of Bloom's taxonomy, which is why students find statistics difficult. When students work together, they can ease the cognitive load and learn from each other through discussion. The project I created in the hypothesis module tries to make students study by themselves, then help each other to gain greater understanding by working with each other. They first pick a topic that interests them, then evaluate the data, make a judgment call, and make a judgment call at the end. If students could learn this skill, then they can use it in their fields and intelligently argue political concepts without just raw emotions. So I'm trying to really let the students know they will use this again, and if they grasp these concepts, they can actually enhance their own careers no matter what they go into. There was another one I almost finished. So the last one that I said I would discuss, so I think we have enough time, is basically, I basically picked the 2 standards that we didn't have reflections on because I had to do them anyway. So, okay, so basically I try to attend a lot of workshops. So I posted my resume here. So I went to the Introduction to Teaching Canvas because a lot of my colleagues don't know Canvas. Like I said, at Long Beach, I was in a pilot program last semester. So a lot of my colleagues know Moodle and they don't know Canvas. So we do, well, I shouldn't say we, I'm at different schools. So there's different there's different things that you can learn at the different schools. So I go to the different schools professional development that I can learn from. Um, so basically, I do go to all the professional development I can that's free. The last thing that I've been at, actually Long Beach, because Long Beach doesn't do as much professional development as I would like them to. But I learned a lot at this last conference. It's called the Computing Experience Conference, and it was really for computer science people, but I was there. And from this conference, I'm basically now going to be taking actual computer classes. So from this conference, I enrolled in an beginning HTML course and took that. And then I'll be enrolling in another web making course, and I'll be also learning Access next semester too. Those I'm going to actually have to pay for and will be enrolled as a student. But the professional development that I usually go to is from El Camino. And El Camino, basically, there's a professional development person there. I don't know if she's actually not called professional development. She's called technical person. So she basically, I haven't even listed all the things that I've gone to with her, but I've gone to her Excel class to learn Excel 2016. I've basically learned the videos from her, so how to do videos from her. So that one video, the second video of me on there, that was actually done at El Camino, because she taught us Screencast-O-Matic. And then after that, I bought Screencast-O-Matic, so that's why in the second, well, it's the first video, it's the video that's on the home page. That's why that video doesn't have the little Screencast-O-Matic at the bottom. But I learned a lot from her, and she has an open door policy where you can go and talk to her and bring things to her. So that's what I've been doing for professional development. I've been really trying to learn how to do web things beyond Canvas, because at some point I'm trying to figure out what school will allow me to do this. And I learned that El Camino will allow you to have like a separate web page, and they'll host it so that you don't have to pay, and so that students can also get more information from there. So if they don't open my email, then they can go to a web page and learn how to click on Canvas and download from there. But also El Camino is not fully, they've embraced Canvas, but they haven't fully implemented it. So over there, people are using etudes, and they're still using etudes. I think they might have stopped it starting this fall, but they're still using etudes, and Long Beach is still using Moodle. So the professional development person at El Camino said that they are transitioning, so it's a little bit hard for people who have been using other things. So I've only really learned Canvas. I do have an etude certificate too, but I've only really used Canvas, so it's not a big deal for me. But I will be trying to go to more @ONE face-to-face things. I had to cancel 2 of them because I had interviews, but other than that, I will be trying to go and do more professional development. So if there's any questions.
Okay, yes. First, I'll just say that that was a fantastic presentation. Thank you very much. Super organized. I feel like you really hit almost all the points that we needed to see. I do have a couple of really quick questions, but I wanted to also mention that I was really impressed by how much you've integrated collaboration and student-to-student interaction in a stats class, in a math class. I mean, it's like really unheard of for the most part to have that much collaboration in this type of class. And I think it's really going to help with student success rates. So I was really impressed with that, and I'm excited about it too. Like, I'd love to hear how it goes if you do teach this class online. I was really, it's kind of like really built into the foundation of your course at a foundational level, and I really liked that. And overall, it's been really exciting to see your class develop over the past 12 weeks. And I like all the graphics and everything that you put in to keep students organized on what they're doing. I think I had just really, and Sandra agrees. I don't know if I'm saying it right, Sandra or Sandra, but she agrees that you've done a great job integrating student collaboration, she says in the chat window. So I have almost everything marked on my rubric. I have very specific questions that I'll ask, and then I'll see if Sandra has any questions. One question is, so when we're doing your presentation here, we're only seeing your first 2 modules, right? Or your first 2 units. And oftentimes that doesn't give us an idea of how you might ask for anonymous feedback in your course if you were to ever teach this course in reality. Do you have a plan for, you have those great, how are you doing feedback, assessments, self-assessments at the end of every unit. Do you plan to offer an anonymous survey at the end of the class that lets students anonymously give feedback on the course?
I did want to figure out a way to maybe do that, like during the course and after the course.
Okay.
So I was looking at different anonymous feedback things. I found something called SurveyMonkey, and so I might do a SurveyMonkey maybe midway, probably before this unit, and then a SurveyMonkey at the end.
Perfect. Yeah, SurveyMonkey is a great option because you can also do the survey in Canvas, but some people don't like to do the anonymous survey in Canvas because they think students might not trust that it's actually anonymous, because a lot of students think that you can see everything that they're doing in Canvas, and that is kind of true. So SurveyMonkey is a great option that students will trust that it is actually anonymous and be open to being honest. The second question I had was, I think this is the only other question I had, was, do you, and you might have said this at the beginning, and maybe you can even show us your announcements, but it looks like you might have an announcement there. Do you send a message out to students before the class starts or right at the beginning of class?
Yes, I usually would send out an email with the syllabus.
Okay.
The announcements is great, but sometimes students don't know Canvas, and so they have to get the login, and so that's why I don't do the announcement in Canvas before class. Usually after everyone, we've gone through, hey, can everyone get on Canvas? This is how you get to the announcements. But for online class, maybe I could probably send an announcement before, because I'm assuming they might be a little bit more tech savvy.
Right. Okay, yeah. And you don't have to use Canvas. You can just use email, your campus email too, or however you can reach out to them. Like, I know some campuses don't even open up Canvas to their students early at all. So you'd have to figure out even if you sent out an announcement, if your students would get it or not, right? So thank you. And go ahead.
Oh, Long Beach didn't open Canvas early. So if I had sent them an announcement, it wouldn't have gotten to them. So I would have to use email.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And I'll let, okay, Sandra has a few questions also, and I don't know if she's going to type them or say them. Either way, I will, if she types, I will say them out loud. Give her a minute. She's going to type them.
Is there a way to see the questions?
If you click on, there's a chat icon somewhere on your screen. You're sharing, so it might be hard to see it. But there's like a little bubble, and if you click on it, then a chat window will open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. And I think she's in the middle of typing right now. She wants to know if you have somewhere links to institutional services like DSPS or the library. I think you have that policies and syllabus page, which you had the blurbs, the standard blurbs that we have, right? And do you know if on those pages you have links out to anything?
Hold on. I don't think I have DSPS or the library.
Okay.
I linked to the distance education, but I don't think I linked out to, let me make sure.
Okay.
But I don't think I did. No, so that's something to do.
Okay. Yeah, and I noticed you did link to the campus academic honesty policy, and that's a similar way you do it if you talk about any other services, is just to throw a link in there. Yeah, it would be good. And is it called DSPS at Long Beach, or is it called something else?
It's called, I think it is called DSPS. If it's not, then it's called it at El Camino. But I think they're both called DSPS. So DSPS library links. Okay.
Yeah, you can put them right on that policies page.
Okay.
Seems like it would make sense there. Okay, good question, Sandra. Do you have another question? I think. Okay. Do you include expected timeframes for responses to inquiries, discussion board posts, and or feedback on assignments? Okay, so basically, I think I saw it somewhere that you do put what your response time is for at least student inquiries, and it was at the bottom of one of your pages. I don't remember if it was your.
I think it's at course policies.
Okay.
Oh, it's also a little bit
communication
on the syllabus too.
Okay. Right. So I see you have your response time for email, and also for posting in the frequently asked questions. Great. Yeah, I know. I saw it too, and I was like, I can't remember where, but I saw it, I swear. Perfect. On the policies page. Okay. Do you have any other questions, Sandra? She has one more question. While we're waiting for the question, I was just going to mention that the videos that you incorporated from other instructors were really high quality, and I noticed that you had a few from Professor Larry Green from Yosemite Community College, and he is actually a reviewer for the Online Education Initiative, and he has a course, I think a statistics course, on the state exchange as well. So Larry Green is like, anything you can get from him would be amazing to incorporate in your class. And I noticed you had, I think, at least 2 videos from him. And he's overall just a really helpful guy. Like if you emailed him, he would totally send you stuff too to use. He's super open to like sharing anything. Okay, question. Do you include in discussions how they will be graded? Are you using some kind of rubric or any kind of descriptive criteria as to how discussions would be graded? Because I think your assignment instructions were very thorough, but I think Sandra's asking about the specifically discussion forums.
I do have a rubric. I don't think I posted it though, so I probably need to post a discussion rubric.
Okay.
But I do have a rubric. It's not it's something I kind of had to adopt from I don't know who I adopted it from, but I'm not used to actually grading things like discussions. I was like trained in grading writing prompts because I have a teaching credential, but I've never like graded online discussions. Students just used the discussion page. So I do have a rubric, but I probably should post it for students.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like for discussions, I'm pretty lenient. Like I'm kind of just giving them credit for participating rather than analyzing it. And Sandra says rubrics are a great way to provide feedback and make grading easier. Exactly. That's what I was going to say, is that I don't like grading discussions because I kind of do want to give everybody full credit for completing, what's required of the discussion. So I do use a really basic rubric. Like, if you did the discussion and completed the requirements, you get full credit basically. And they only lose points if they didn't reply to another classmate, or if their reply was so superficial, like only one sentence, something like that. Similar to what we do in the OESP class is kind of what I do for discussions. But yeah, a rubric would help not only the students, but you when you're grading, right?
Okay.
Okay, those were all her questions. Thank you, Sandra. Great questions. Very helpful in marking up the rest of the rubric. So I think that's all of our questions. Do you have any questions at all for us, or any final comments?
No. No, I don't have any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you can stop the recording now if you want, but if you don't, that's okay too. But basically I always tell people what's gonna happen is that when you actually end the meeting, like when you click the link to end the meeting for everybody, the recording that you made will start downloading. And it can take a while to download the entire file, in like 5 minutes. And just let it download. Don't turn off your computer because it's hard to find afterward. But it'll download to a file on your computer called Zoom. And then you can take the MP4 file and upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video. And you can post it in your sandbox if you would like. And that way we'll have everything in your sandbox. You'll have your course, the presentation, in case anybody needs to review it. And then after that, you're done. After you post your video, you're all done with all your requirements. And if you have any questions about it, you can email me. Like if you can't get the video to find the video or upload the video, I can help you. You do not have to caption the video. That will take you forever. Just post it. And yeah, that's it. So I want to just congratulate you on finishing and